like you did in New York. Before you said you loved me, before you said it won't work. And I'm falling apart at the seams. If you're here, would you wrap yourself around me? Wrap yourself around me. Wrap yourself around me like you did in New York. Before you said you loved me, before you said it won't work. And tell me I'm falling apart at the seams. If you're here, would you wrap yourself around me? Wrap yourself around me. Cause I come and go like the seasons, so hot and so cold, now I'm freezing. I come and go like the seasons, so hot and so cold, now I'm freezing. So wrap yourself around me, go and wrap yourself around me. So wrap yourself around me, go and wrap yourself around me. So wrap yourself around me, go and wrap yourself around me. So wrap yourself around me, go and wrap yourself around me. So wrap yourself around me, go and wrap yourself around me. So wrap yourself around me, go and wrap yourself around me. So wrap yourself around me, go and wrap yourself around me. So wrap yourself around me, go and wrap yourself around me. I won't wear makeup on Thursday. I'm sick of covering up. I'm tired of feeling so broken. I'm tired of falling in love. Sometimes I'm shy and I'm anxious. Sometimes I'm down on my knees. Sometimes I try to embrace all my insecurities. So I won't wear makeup on Thursday. Cause who I am is enough. And there are many things that I can change so slightly. But why did I succumb to something so unlike me? I was always taught to just be myself. Don't change for anyone. I wanna laugh, I wanna cry. Don't want these tears inside my eyes. Yeah. Don't wanna wake up and feel insecure. I wanna sing, I wanna dance, I wanna feel love inside my head. And I just wanna feel beautiful. think of when we were together. Like when you said you felt so happy you could die. Told myself that you were right for me, but felt so lonely in your company. But that was love and it's an ache I still remember. Now you're just somebody I used to know. 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 You didn't have to cut me off, make it like it never happened, but now we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger and I feel so low. No, you didn't have to stoop so low. Let it break like your records and change your number. Guess that I don't need that though. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. Now and then I think of all the times you screwed me over, but I made believing it was always something that I'd done. But I don't wanna live that way, reading into every word you say. You said that you could let it go, and I wouldn't catch you hung up on somebody that you used to know. You didn't have to cut me off, make it like it never happened, but we were nothing. I don't even need your love, but you treat me like a stranger and I feel so low. I didn't have to got time for it. Back it up and give me space. Ain't got time for it. All the trouble that you make. Ain't got time for it. Baby, listen as I say. There's no more hours, no more days. 7 seconds to replace. Ain't got time for it. Back it up and give me space. Ain't got time for it. All the trouble that you make. Ain't got time for it. Baby, listen as I say. There's no more hours, no more days. 7 seconds to replace you. Feels like hell. Well, here's the truth of it. I don't want you ever to forget about us. chest. I hate how much I feel it, yeah. Like how are you? It seems like things are going really well for you. I wish that I could say the same about me too. I wish that I could say the same. And boy, you know I tried to pray, I bruised my knees, I tried to bring you back to me. I tried my best to find some kind of peace. Don't you see? There's a big black hole where my heart used to be, and I tried my best to fill it up with things I don't need. It don't work like that, no, it's not easy to fill this gap that you left in me. There's a big black hole where my heart used to be, and I wish that you would realize I'm all that you need. It don't work like that, no, it's not easy to fill this gap that you left in me. 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 Fill this gap that you left in me. 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 Fill this gap that you left in me. Without a trace, you disappeared and took some of me with you. Bright like the way I used to laugh into my belly. Well, that's all gone away now, yeah. And boy, you know I tried to pray, I bruised my knees, I tried to bring you back to me. I tried my best to find some kind of peace. Don't you see? There's a big black hole where my heart used to be, and I tried my best to fill it up with things I don't need. It don't work like that, no, it's not easy to fill this gap that you left in me. There's a big black hole where my heart used to be, and I wish that you would realize I'm all that you need. It don't work like that, no, it's not easy to fill this gap that you left in me.